Morning, everybody. Dave Donaldson here. Just going to give everybody an extra minute to log on. I'm a bit under the weather today. My good friend Jerry Tricky, who's an amazing Mark Center tech trainer out of the Chesapeake Greenbrier region, is going to be filling in for me today and taking controls and leading you all through campaigns, social posts, quick ads, and the dashboard and the like for our seventh session of the command regional trainings that you guys have been promptly showing up for every day, which I do thank you. I do want to just remind you that we are recording. We'll get this posted to the YouTube channel, and tomorrow is day 8. So for those of you that have been here for the entire journey, I thank you. But with that, I'm just going to let Jerry take over and take you guys through today. Have a great course today, everybody.
Thanks, David. Hope you feel better. I definitely hope you feel better than you sound. So I glad to jump in here. I'm Jerry Tricky. I'm with the Market Center in Chesapeake in the Greenbrier Market Center, and I'm an MCTT down here. So I will get started. I'm going to share my screen here, and if I can find I think it's this one. Yep. Okay. So somebody give me a thumbs up if they can see my screen. So that way I know that you guys are able to see it. Okay. Thanks, George. Appreciate that. Okay. So today we're going through campaigns. And one of the great things about Command is the ability to keep you in-house. Everything that you do is able to stay right within Command, as you've seen over the last week and a half. And creating campaigns is one of them. One of the things that that you can definitely do without having to leave. If you've done a Facebook campaign to, let's say, try to advertise for a listing you have, or maybe you want to advertise somebody else's listing that you're going to hold as an open house, as a lot of newer agents do. You could go to Facebook and you could go into your ads manager if you have a business page, and you could create it there. And the nice thing with Command is you can actually do it here now. So we're going to go through in Command in a couple minutes and make sure that we've got some of these things connected. If you already have a Facebook business page, we will go ahead and get that connected. You do have to have one. You do have to have a Facebook business page to be able to run ads. It will ask you to connect to your personal account only because that's how you manage your business account. Okay. So we'll jump through that. We'll take a quick look at it, make sure that you're configured in your email through Command, so that way that that it is tied in. And then your marketing profile. I think pretty much every day we've talked about this over the last week and a half in terms of the marketing profile being completed. So if you haven't done that yet, I'd strongly suggest going ahead and getting that done in the next day, so that way you can get moving through. And then obviously you have to set up the payments. Ads are not free, but they are inexpensive compared to a lot of other lead sources. So we'll show you how you can create a campaign for $20 or $30, run it for a week to be able to generate leads. Okay. And then we're going to jump in real quick and show you how to do some quick posts, some tips and training, all the connected and the payments and everything. And then campaigns itself. We'll walk through what that looks like. And then also there are some quick posts that you can create from the Command console itself without having to do much thinking, and then schedule them out for your business page. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and jump back here to our homepage. And if you're following along, as I hope everybody is, we're going to go into your settings. Okay, so the first thing we want to do is make sure that we have Command set up to be able to connect to your Facebook. Okay, so when you come in here, you may have to scroll down a little bit if yours is not already connected. If it is connected, then it's going to be up here at the top. But you'll scroll down. You're going to want to connect the Facebook Ads Manager. This is the one that you'll connect so that you're able to be able to go ahead and do your ads, and then it's connected to your business page. The
Hey, Jerry,
scheduler,
we can't see your screen yet.
you cannot see my screen now. Sean, you can see it?
I can see
Okay.
it.
Nader, you cannot?
I can see it.
No.
Okay, I'm gonna just go ahead and stop sharing for a second and try and reshare. That's interesting that some can and some can't. Okay, let me try again. How about now?
Now I see.
Okay, great. That was interesting. I've not actually had that where some people haven't seen it and others have. Thank you for pointing that out. Okay. So like I said, we're going into the settings, and then in here, you're going to be wanting to go to where it says Facebook Ads Manager. If this is not connected, then you go ahead and connect it. You'll click on it and connect it. It will ask for your personal login to Facebook. That is correct. It will not use your personal page, but that's what gives it permission to use your business page. Okay, so if you have one set up, a Facebook business page set up, that's what will give it permission to. If you don't have one, go to your MCTT and be able and ask them to help you. There's some easy ways to get that knocked out real quick. And our MCTTs in the region are great. I know Shelly's on here, so if you're in her area, go ahead and have her get you hooked up with that. It's super easy to do, and just takes a little bit to give you a little bit more for your business, bang for your buck, free bang for your buck actually. And then Facebook post scheduling, go ahead and connect that as well. That is for your scheduler. You can actually schedule out up, for the next year if you wanted to, or go quarter by quarter. Schedule out posts that are evergreen that you can put onto your Facebook page, your business page right now. So that way you don't have to remember to do it every week. As you are busier, some of you are already in high production, others of you are newer. As you get into production, you're going to find your time is you're managing your time. And one of those things you can do to leverage that is to get it scheduled out ahead of time. Okay. I also want you to scroll down to the bottom where the email services are, and make sure that you've connected your command email. Okay. And when you're in here, you can set up so that it says what your sender name is and then where it's going to reply to. Mine's already set up, so this is why mine looks like this. If yours is not set up, then it's going to look a little bit different, but you can click through to be able to set that in place. Excuse me, so that your command email is set up and ready to go. Okay. If you wanted to connect Twitter, you can add that for scheduling as well. And that will tie in from the command campaigns as well if you wanted to. So let's jump over here to campaigns. And as you'll see on the dashboard here, you've got a few different things in your dashboard. This is where you'll find out some recent performances of campaigns. I haven't done one in the last couple of weeks or last couple of months, really. I've got a bunch that I'll show you in a second to where you'll see your past campaigns. You can also do quick posts if you just want to have a nice, easy way to have something on your business Facebook page. You can come here and there's a quick post that's already built. This one's providing great rates and with Keller Mortgage. Okay, they've already written it for you, and they've got a photo in here. They've already got it basically set up for you to be able to jump in and just go ahead and schedule it. You can schedule it to publish immediately, or you can set it out for a future date. So if I wanted this one to run on next Monday at, let's say I run mine early when people are getting ready for work, 7 a.m. So now if I wanted to have this one ready to go, it's good to go. It's going to go onto my Facebook page because it's connected. And if I wanted to edit anything, I could go ahead and edit it here. If something didn't seem quite right to me, usually they're in good shape, but you can make sure that it's preferable to you. The other nice thing is there's also this little shuffle button, which is very cool. And because if you get in here and then all of a sudden you say, you know what, I read the whole thing now, and it's not necessarily one that I want to use, you could always see, well, is there another one? And be able to shuffle it. And now it's got some different text that they've already sent, so what do selling your home and putting on sunscreen have in common? Someone doesn't have your back, you're going to get burned. Okay, well, that's kind of cheesy. I don't know that I would put that on my page, but somebody would. Somebody thought it was great to write, and it is. I'm sure a lot of people would like to use it. Maybe I keep on going. I like a good bad joke. I'm not a dad, but I do like a good bad joke. So maybe I would put this one on here. Okay. And then so what I do is I go ahead and set it, and then I'm just going to go ahead and schedule the post. And it's going to ask me if I want to schedule it, and I say yes. Now, when it does that, it's going to bring me down. You notice we started on the dashboard. Now we're down here in social posts, okay? Because you can see where this teal blue line is. That's the section we're in. You've got a week schedule or a month schedule. I did that one for next Monday. So now Monday at 7 a.m., which I already have one scheduled for next Monday at 6. Now I've got one at 7 that's going to be my bad joke alert, okay? And so since that one's on the same day as one that I already have, I'm going to go ahead and click these little 3 dots where I can go ahead and go back into it and edit this post. And so I do want to edit it. And then now that the post is going to be brought back up, now that I had forgotten that I have a post on Monday, I'm going to go ahead and change this. I'm going to make it for Thursday at 7. So now this one's set for Thursday at 7. I'm going to go ahead and schedule it just like I did. And again, these were already here for you and are just great little posts that you can have. Now I've got one tomorrow that's scheduled. I've got one on Monday scheduled, and that one we just did, I've moved to Thursday. Okay. And then you can edit these up to within an hour, I believe, of when they're supposed to be scheduled. And then, that will just go, and it'll show on your Facebook business page at that time for people to be able to see and interact with. Okay. And then you can also see your schedule out down here on the bottom. And there's different kind of posts. So you can also go in and make the video post like you saw may have saw already, that there's a neighborhood video post that you can make as well in terms of creating those types of posts. So I'm going to jump back here to the dashboard and just show you again, this is where your quick posts are. And if you shuffle through here, it will change and show you which ones you have as offerings. Okay. And there's usually about six or so of them in there. Okay. And down here, you've got some tips and trainings. Obviously you can come back to these videos, an hour-long video. If you've already sat through the class, maybe there's 2 minutes that you need. Sometimes that's a little bit harder to get through to find the exact 2 minutes. You might find down here in the trainings, and this will also click you off to KW Connect for your marketing trainings. It'll show you a little bit more about how to build your business without having to jump out and talk to your MCTT. Maybe some of it you can build on your own. Okay. So let's go ahead and jump in to paid ads, because I'm guessing that's why everybody, or what everybody wants to see today, right? By a raise of hands, digital hands, or video, or in the video, has anybody created an ad before, a Facebook ad through command? Okay, got a couple. Looks like Joe and Cynthia. Awesome. Okay. And I think that if you've built these before, or even if you haven't, I think you're going to probably find that they're pretty easy to do. And I'm going to jump back in. I'm just seeing here question from Kevin: is there a preferred time and day of week for posting as far as ads go, or social posts go? It's a great question. Partly, I think it depends on your audience. So if you know your audience, that's the people that are actually following your business Facebook page, when you're posting there, if you know who's following your page, then that may dictate a little bit of it. You can just, Google best time to post a Facebook business. And there's been people that study that. I've heard like Tuesday mornings, Friday afternoons. I've found pretty good readership of things, simply because people that are working a 9-to-5 job, they're ready for the weekend. And so by 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon on Friday, they're typically checking out and from their job and looking at other things. So you might look at Googling that to see what is a good time to be able to post. So in here on your dashboard, you are able to see past campaigns that you've run. Okay. And you can get some good information. The the cost per impression, cost per click, cost per lead click. There's a difference there between click and lead click. Your total spend, and how long it went. Okay. You can see here on this one I ran a while ago. This wasn't a listing. I found listings to be very, and I'll show you a couple of those, very useful. This one was more of attracting buyers in a specific zip code. Okay. And, got 665 impressions, 44 clicks, 9 leads, and spent $20. And these 9 leads, they go directly into my command, and they're there. And I'll show you in a second how you can set it up to where they automatically trigger a smart plan now. That is a newer item that is awesome. So that if you've gone through and set up a smart plan for buyers, cold buyer leads from Facebook, you think about what that looks like in terms of the follow-up. If you've created a smart plan for that, it can automatically trigger it as soon as that lead comes in. Okay. And now you can click on and you can actually see who these leads were. So those 9 leads that came in from that ad are these people. Okay. And then I can go in and it can be tagged as they come in, and then we can do our follow-up, which obviously is the most important point with a cold lead, because these could be someone that's ready to buy in the next few months. Most of the time it's people that are looking, that do have an interest, but it's more of a time over task proposition with them, where you're going to have to continue to stay on top of them in front of mine. Okay. Last summer, I was a little bit heavier on listings personally in my business. I did one for $25 and I had 15 leads, at $1.67 per lead. I think that's pretty impressive. I know some people that can get that under $1 on some, and by putting in just the right copy, and it's a testing thing. You want to do a few and see what it works like, and then how well does it work. And what I'll do with a listing I have a listing coming next week, and I will, on Friday when we go live, I'll start an ad that'll run for 1 week, and from Friday to Friday. But then I'm going to continue that listing, even if I've got it under contract. I'm still going to go ahead and have it out there, because I might be looking for a backup contract, and be able to do that during the allotted time that I have it as a live listing. And you may tweak each one of those as far as the copy that goes, or maybe the photo, and see which one is going to get better, and then you'll learn from there. And sometimes you do things just right, and it still doesn't end up being perfect, but you got to look for the silver lining. So here's one I did it's the end of last year, toward the beginning of this year. I spent $25. I didn't get a lead off of this one, but whatever my text and my video or my photos was perfect, because I ended up getting 19,000 impressions. So as far as brand awareness goes, I may not have got a lead in on that one, but I did get my brand out there. People were seeing my actual sponsored post with Jerry Tricky Realtor, at Keller Williams for my business page. So, there can be a different end goal for each one. Obviously, I'd love to have leads every time, But if I spend 20 bucks and I get almost 20,000 or 25 bucks and I get almost 20,000 impressions, that can be good as well if I'm continually doing that. Okay. So that's a little bit about your dashboard here. Okay. Now we're going to go ahead and just click on create a campaign. And when you come in here, you've got a few different options. You've got your social campaign, which is what we're going to do. That's your Facebook, Instagram ad. Okay. You can also do a search type of ad, a Google AdWord type of ad that's also paid, that you will you have connected in here through your through command to pay directly. Your business credit card, set it up so that it goes straight there. The social post, this is the one that we just did the quick post a little bit ago when we scheduled it out for next week or down the road. You can create your own. So if you want to do those quick ones just to have it done and nice professional look and very I would say almost simplistic in that it's just business related, but it's not specific to your business, then those quick ones are great. But let's say you want something specific to your business. Say I'm having maybe I'm going to open up a client event and I want to do something on, something to that anyone that sees it on my Facebook business page. I've got a few hundred people that are followers, and I want to invite anybody that sees it to my client event, at Greenbrier Farms. Well, I can make a post right here for that and make it very specific to me instead of just one of those more generic ones. We'll also be able to create direct mail in here. I'll talk about that a little bit more at the end. Doing just listed, just sold. For those of you in other areas, we can't down here, but if you have coming soons available to you in your MLS, then you could do that. This is connected with real mailers, and they will actually send the postcards for you. The postcards you create in here, they'll send them out to 100, 200, however many homes you want directly around the listing. And they mail them for you, and they're honestly, it's the cheapest I've seen. It's probably about 64 cents per card, and that includes postage. So when a stamp is 50, I don't even know, what is it, 58 cents now or something, $3, who knows? That's a really good price. Lastly, the other kind of campaign that you can create in here is an email campaign. So this might be something that you do with your just listeds. If you like doing checklists and creating checklists for yourself, when you get a listing, you want to be able to get it out to the most people that you can. Obviously, Facebook ad can reach a ton. Send your mailers. Your email campaign would be more to your database. So I've got 500 and some in my database. I'm going to create an email next week that's going to have my just listed for that home in Norfolk. And then it's going to go out to all 500 of those. And so you've got 3 or 4 pieces right here that without leaving command, you can build on day one to get your listing going. And then this also works for an open house. You can do it for other people's listings. If you have I've actually done it before where I've had a buyer. It was actually the first time I did it was about a year and a half ago, before the market really got as hot as it is right now, because I had buyers that were just struggling to find the right house, not necessarily because of price or competition, but they were just not finding the right house. So I sent out an email campaign to my whole database saying, hey, do you know anybody in this area of Chesapeake that's looking to sell? I've got buyers that are looking. So you can tailor it to any type of a situation within real estate. So we're going to start with the social campaign. Okay. And this is going to be for your Facebook campaign itself. Okay. When you come in here, you're going to enter campaign name. I'm going to do 673 Princess and listing 2, because I've already got one that's ready to go. I'm going to make it as a listing is the way I'm going to start this one. You have different things that you can set this as. This will trigger a little bit differently within the settings of within the settings of Facebook in terms of who it is looking to get to. And it'll also show you how you can set those parameters in terms of who's seeing it. Now down here, I'm going to pick where I want it to run. Okay, I could run it just on Facebook, and it'll go just to my Facebook page. I could also do my Instagram too if I want. And so if you have Instagram, Twitter as well. I have Twitter, but I don't use it very much anymore, and I definitely don't really use it for my business at all. But these two I do. Facebook I definitely use for business, and Instagram I post a fair amount of business stuff on there, so I'm going to keep that on there as well. Okay, so now you hit create campaign. It's going to bring you in here, and this is, in my mind, the absolute coolest part of Command is that it's so tied into everything else. Okay, this is tied to my MLS. Now, make sure that you're looking over here on the right. Make sure that you're pulling up all listings instead of just mine. Like right now, I don't have a listing. I've got 2 coming next month. One's going to be next week, and then one the following week. So if I did have any, they would, when it first comes up. Dang it, let me go back. I actually just hit that too fast. Sorry. So social ad 673 Princess and 2 listing 2. I'm gonna do advertise listing. I'm gonna do Facebook and Instagram, create campaign. So if I have my 2 listings live next, like I will in 2 weeks, then these will show up here first. Since I don't, I want to make sure to hit all listings. And then I can put in my address, 673 Princess, and I'm gonna hit search, Princess Anne Road. Okay, and this is not mine, but I'm gonna use it, and I'm gonna go ahead and advertise it for her. Okay, so I'm gonna hit select. And this is just awesome because it automatically pulls in the listing from the MLS. Okay, so everything that's been put in there, whether it's your listing or someone else's, is already in here, and you're able to have that info if you want to use it, or you can go ahead and edit it as we're about to do. Okay. And okay, so now as far as once we get in here and we're ready to get this set up, what I would do is if you need to change the listing, you can do it here, but I normally start here in the text area. Okay, and this is just going to automatically draw in the yes, Bonita, this is being recorded. It's automatically going to draw in what's listed as the indicate in the MLS. Okay, so maybe I want to do something like rustic farmhouse ? And click on this little smiley face over here. It's got emojis. When you're making Facebook ads, use emojis. Even if you don't use emojis for anything else, emojis may not be fun to you. They may be something you do all the time. I do know that the studies show that people are more likely to click on things that have emojis. So I'm going to use the check mark emoji on this rustic farmhouse, and farmhouse is one word, isn't it? Near city and beaches. And then I'm going to do another check mark. Okay. And then land for horses, ? Check mark. Okay. Now, if this is what you're looking for, then this home is for you. Did that type it? Oh, it did. Nice. Now, I'm also going to put my cursor back, and sometimes this goes in place and sometimes it doesn't. I'm going to put that emoji home. It didn't. So I'm just going to highlight it. I hit X or Control X and then paste it in there. So that way it's right there. So this is my main copy. Then I'm going to go ahead and write a headline. You'll see it in here as you're updating it. Okay. This is what your ad will look like as you're going forward. So now headline, well, you can see it says headline right here. So I'm going to put click for virtual tour. give them a action, like tell them to do something. Click for a virtual tour, or something about making them want to, making them do something right here so that they can get something, because that's what they got to do. They click on this, then they're going to give you their information, which is going to automatically go into command. Then they're going to get something on the back end, and that's going to be a page. It could be a landing page you build in here, down in the consumer area. I'm going to show you a different way that I would do this one with a virtual tour that's already pre-built, but give them an action in this headline, okay? And then the description, well, you can write a description if you want that's a little bit different, or they actually have suggestions here. So you could becoming home to this. Yeah, that one's so. Here's our shuffle button. Schedule a private tour with me today. I kind of like that because that's giving them another action. So I'm just going to say use a suggestion. Well, now it's put it in here, because before when you saw it, it was in like kind of a lightish gray. But now once it's actually put in here, it's in a darker, you can tell it's real text, and now it's here. And so you could do that if you wanted to, or you can write in your own description. Okay. It doesn't, and it tells you right here, it doesn't show in every instance of the ad, but the dynamic placing of it will show it in some places. So now we save that section. So now our text section is done. Our media, well, like we said, we have the photos that are brought in. You could also use a video if you wanted to. So if you have the listing and you have a video of it and you want to upload, you could do that. You can also put in multiple cards. So you've got, and I actually want to switch it because I like this photo better. So I click the photo. Now you see this box here that's kind of showing you what it's going to show. You're going to want to go ahead and change that so that it's wide, and then you can move it up and down if you like, wherever you want as far as the positioning. Okay. And then save the image. Now you'll see that there's actually two cards here. Okay. Because we have two photos, right? And some people like to do that. Some people feel that having that, you saw it rotated right there to the next card. Having that ability to have 3 or 4 cards in there will hold people. It'll stop them from scrolling. That's the biggest thing we got to do on Facebook. Think about how you use Facebook. You scroll through it until something catches your attention. Well, this could catch their attention by having multiples. So you may want to think about that, putting in a few different pictures. Now I have 2 front of the house pictures and I don't want that. So I'm going to click on these little dots right here, and I'm just go ahead and delete that first picture. So now if I just want this one, I'd leave it that way. Maybe I want to come back in here and I want to do a couple others. So I'm going to do one with the kind of wide angle of the living room, kitchen, open area with the grand fireplace. And then maybe I do one more. And that might be, do we got some proper, well, we could put the horse barn. Yeah, I'm gonna put the horse barn because we put that in the text. So I'm gonna go ahead and put the horse barn. So maybe we do that to try and entice some people a little bit. Okay. So now you've got 3 pictures that's gonna rotate through here that hopefully will get them to stop scrolling. And now once they've stopped scrolling, your text and your photos hopefully are enough to make them want to actually click. Now, if we've saved this, we're going to configure these settings. Now this is where they're going to say they're going to be able to click. You've got a learn more button, a sign up, contact us, apply now. Well, learn more is probably the one that fits best for what we're doing, right? So we're going to probably leave that. So hopefully they click on that learn more, and it's going to then, start the process of collecting their information. This, if you notice right now, when we started this, it says Keller Williams and it says sponsored. It will still say sponsored, but this is where if you've tied in your settings to command or to command from Facebook, it's going to tell you what pages you have that you own. And so now my real estate one is this, Jerry Tricky, Realtor, ABR, MRP. Okay, it changed to my picture and to my header that goes with my actual Facebook page, my business page. So that way, that's what's being seen is that. Now, lead generation form, which is recommended, or site landing page. The biggest difference here, if you leave it in this one that's recommended, and I do recommend leaving it there, then it's automatically gonna say, okay, this person's gonna click on learn more, and then before they can go anywhere, they have to give their information, name, phone number, email, which is already filled in by Facebook. All they gotta do is click again. Then that info gets put into my database. If you do the site or landing page, it does not do that collection of information. And I'll say that again, it doesn't do that collection of information. It actually, if you have another website that collects info, that's great. Then you could do it. But most of us don't have another website that is collecting the information. So sending it to a site or landing page, while that might be beneficial to you if you just want them to get information that's there, using the Facebook lead generation form is the easier way to do it, so that you get their info, so you know who went to the page. Because if they clicked all the way through and they gave you their info, then they're telling you, you know what, I have an interest. And then you can do your follow-up. Okay. Some people might get to the point where they click on learn more and then they don't click to give you their info. Well, they're not going to go see the end result, the page that you're leaving for them. Okay. Now, I've got there's a virtual tour for this property. That's what I'm going to use here. Okay. I'm going to just post in the video, the Vimeo page for the virtual tour. You could also choose a landing page, like I said, that you built in consumer. And that won't affect, if you build that in consumer and choose this, that won't affect the collection of data. It's only whether you pick this one or the other one. Okay, so leave this on recommended, and you can still use your own landing page in command if you want. Sometimes it's easier to use a page that they're just going to get to that'll have a virtual tour that might be easier. Either way, that's fully up to you, depending on what you're trying to do with the ad. Now here, if you're following along and clicking along, you can see that, okay, so this is Virginia Beach. That's where the house is located. It's basically in Pungo, 20 miles. You can change this, and you can also change the actual settings of who's seeing it. Okay. So in here, let's say, I want 25 miles of Virginia Beach, or maybe I want 26, or I want 40, up to you. Okay. If you've got a higher end property and you don't have a whole lot of properties in the area that it's located in, you might want to go out wider and be able to get it to a broader audience. Okay. If not, if you're in a very densely populated area, and say maybe it's a condo and it's in a downtown area, and you don't need to go 25 miles. You might sink that down to 6 miles and really concentrate on that, that area, get down as low as it can. And I honestly, I think you can go down to 5. Nope, 15. So you can go down to 15 is the lowest that you can go. But here, you can also change the interest of who's going to see this ad. Okay. So like who you're targeting. And it already has targeting built in here from command. If you want to leave it, you can, just leave this off, and it has the targeting already set for 20 miles, and it'll just do its job. But if you want to come in and do this, you can, like I said, change it to whatever. You can pick these interests, and then it's going to load a ton of things here. Okay, all different kinds of things. I would scroll through and see what these look like. Once you kind of know, you can start doing searches. So like I type in home, I might want to put, home repair. I might want to put in loan. So somebody that's taking out a mortgage loan might be who I'm targeting, or an FHA insured loan. These are people that have had an interest in this. And so that's who I'm going to target, because if I'm showing a listing and I'm trying to draw in buyers, then that's who I'm going to look at. I'm that home repair or a home equity loan. Maybe I'm looking at sellers. Maybe I'm looking at people that actually want to, that may want to say, you know what, instead of me doing getting a home equity loan and adding on, maybe I do just go ahead and sell my current house and buy another one. So maybe I'm trying to attract listings. You can see who's in here. I think Zillow was one of them. So anyone that's going to go look at, I wouldn't do Premier Agent because that's going to be more for agents like us, but people who've expressed an interest in pages related to Zillow, that's people that are looking to buy a house. So I would be clicking on them. You can pick all the ones that you want and then set that audience. Okay. And again, you can do that custom. The target my database, this will then target if you've got their Facebook page put in to your contact. Okay. So if you were here for the contacts class, you saw where you fill in all their information, and down in the last section, there's a lot of other stuff, and you can put social media pages in there. So you go to Sally's social, Facebook page and grab that URL and put it in, and John and Tim's, anyone that you've got in your database that's got that in there, then it's going to target to them. So it'll show up in their feed. So that could be people that's, are in other areas or states, theoretically. So that's what the target my database is for. And again, you can also just leave this set to do its own job. Okay. A really cool feature I mentioned a little bit ago is this configuration. So a lead comes in. They say, yes, Jerry, I loved your ad. I really want that horse barn. I want to see more about this information. I'm going to give you my email and phone number so that you will give me the information that I'm looking for in this ad. When that information comes in from them, that email, phone number, and name, it's going to drop into your command in the contacts, automatically set there. When that comes in, you can set this up so that it has, I'm going to do 673 Princess Anne listing. Okay. I can, if I didn't already have it, I can, let me show you 673 Princess Anne listing 2. There's not one here. I'm just going to create a new tag. Okay. I'm going to make that one green. I'm going to hit add. So now it's going to tag this lead when it drops into the contacts. It's going to tag it as this. So you don't have to go in and tag it later. It's already done for you. And if you have a smart plan already set up, you can choose that smart plan. So like I have buyer immediate follow-up. Okay. I can do Facebook follow-up brand from my brand awareness. I've got a few different ones that I can pick. I can pick a smart plan that I've already set. When I save this, now when this is set and published and people come in and their contacts go into my command, it's automatically going to tag them and it's automatically going to start the smart plan. So your follow-up has already started. If an email is the first thing, then, and that email will go, somebody's sitting on their couch at 11:45 at night before they go to bed and they're scrolling through and they see the ad and they push yes, or learn more, and they agree to it, then that info comes in. If email is the first thing, then it's going to shoot them an email immediately. Your text, if you have Twilio set up, I believe that in Eastern time zone, I believe it runs 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. because they have specific times, because obviously we want to watch all the TCPA rules and regulations. So that will trigger in that window as soon as possible. Okay. The last thing down here before we've got this set is our budget. So you can come in and you can pick what day you want it to start. If I put it as today, it may or may not get approved today because Facebook still has to review it and approve it. So I would plan to set these as best you can, set them for the next day. So plan one day ahead. So I'll come in on Thursday next week and get mine set for my listing that goes live on Friday. Okay. So you can set it for that. And then the end dates, you can run it for 2 days. That was not 2, was it? There we go. That would be 2. You can run it for, a month and a half. You can run it for whatever you want. The less you have in per day, the less times it's going to come up per day. Okay. So I typically tell people, if you want to spend $20, aim for about a week. That was actually 2 weeks. There we go. Next week. So, aim for about a week, for $20 to $30. If I do $20, It's going to be a buck, almost $1.50 a day. Quite honestly, $20 over the course of a week. I mean, you're likely going to, if you've got good pictures, you got good text that catches their eye real quick, you're going to get leads and impressions, or one or both, at a pretty good level for the amount that you're spending. Okay. So it's just a matter of what your final outcome that you want to have with it. So I save that. So now you've seen that we've gone through, we got the green check mark. If something's not saved, if something's wrong, if something's not able to be sent properly, it will be red, and you'll know to come back and check it. Okay. You can flip through real quick to see. So I've got the web carousel. This is what it's going to look like when it's flipping through when you're actually on your computer, right? Then you also got your mobile, so you can see what's going to show, how much text will show, what it'll look like. This one, you can see down here that description is not on the last one, but on the first one it was, and it'll be the same thing on the mobile. Okay. And then you can also see, if you're going to put it into Instagram, what that would look like in stories. Okay. And then you can publish, or you can save. I'm going to save this draft. This is nice to be able to see it again, to see what it's going to look like. I'm going to save the draft. And then that way I've got it ready to go when my listing is ready to go. So if you've got your photos ready, you can come in, let me go back into the edit. I didn't really denote that. If you don't pick a listing, then, or even if you do pick a listing, you can always change in the media here, the photos. So like if you come in here to, when you first start it and you don't pick a listing that's currently live, and this is now being slow, you can go into the area here for the add more, and you can actually upload. So you can come to add images, and then if you had something designed, something through the library, you could choose from that, or you can just go to upload your own image. So this is what I would do the day before a listing hits, when it's not in my MLS yet, but I want it to start on the day that it actually goes live. Your photos, either take a real nice one yourself with your phone, on a Facebook ad, that will work fine. Or if you've got your professional ones back, then you can just take it from your computer and drop and drag it into here. And then again, you could also do video. You could upload a video, embed link, browse, and do the neighborhood video as well. Okay. Those are the steps that we go through to get this to be published. When you go through into the publish area, if your card is not connected, you're going to be asked to be able to go ahead and connect your credit card. It will pay directly to Facebook from that, so that it's I believe it's to Facebook directly. And then if there's any credits, like if you stop and pause one and then it runs out and you have credit left, then that would be it's not going to be refunded to you, but it's going to be available for the next one that you do. So if you had $10 left, you put 20 down, you only spent 10 and you paused it because you didn't have good results, or maybe it was a listing and you sold it real quick and you wanted to take it off, being on Facebook, then the $10 would be saved. You wouldn't get a refund necessarily. It'd be saved for the next one. Okay. Any questions on setting up a Facebook campaign, a Facebook ad directly? Does that seem pretty straightforward? Give me a thumbs up if it seems like something that you feel like you'd be able to go back through and do. Okay, good. Is there anything that's seemed like it might be there might be a roadblock there, and anything we just did that we can touch on real quick? Okay. Okay, awesome. Then hopefully that's pretty easy. So we've talked about social posts and we've talked about paid ads. Let's okay, good. Thanks, Brooke. Let's just go ahead and jump in real quick. Oh, Kevin, that is an awesome question. Thank you for asking that. When I started 6 years ago, I had no idea that open houses, you could do an open house for somebody else, or that you could advertise for somebody else. So that you're new and you don't have that type of, that full stable full of listings, then yeah, absolutely. Talk to the person that you want to use their listing to advertise. Obviously we typically end up staying in our own office as far as who we might advertise for, or who we do open houses for. Obviously talk to your team leader or broker if you're looking at doing something other than that. But yeah, I have not met an agent yet at KW that has said no to promoting their listing. I have yet to meet one, because everybody is here to do, if you've got a listing, you've got one goal, and that's to sell it. So if somebody else is willing to spend $20 and promote the listing so that they can try and get their own buyers from it, but it's helping you to get the word out, I have not found one yet. But I would always make sure to ask that they're okay. And once you get to know them, I got a couple of top agents in my office that take a ton of listings, and I got to know them fairly early when I was getting started. And after the first couple times, they just said, Jerry, you're good. You can advertise anything that we have. You don't even have to ask. Some people are like that. Other people, yeah, they might want to be asked every time, but I think it is something that you should do as a professional courtesy. But I have not found anybody that would say no yet. Okay, great question. So real quick then, we got about 10 minutes left. I want to jump in real quick to the direct mail and email. Okay, direct mail, easiest and best way is going to be obviously advertise the listing. You may want to think about, is there another way for brand awareness? If you're going to market to a neighborhood, we call it farming, where you're marketing to a specific neighborhood, and you're doing maybe door knocking every quarter and sending them a monthly mailer, that type of stuff. You could absolutely have brand awareness being one of them. Advertise a listing is probably the easiest one. Again, 73 Princess, and so we're going to create. Now, cool thing, again, we're going to go back to our listings. We're going to do 7. Actually, I'm going to not put in a listing. I'm going to not put in the listing, so that way you can see it. So there's no listing selected. I just X'd out of that. So I'm not selecting listing. I'm going to put my content. You got a couple ways to go through here, and these are a little bit newer, which is great options, because before it was only one, and it was a little bit limiting. Now you've definitely got a wide open way to go about this. You can select a template that they already have built. Okay, you've got the different types of templates here for the sizes that they are. Okay, and then you can fill in your information. So 673 Princess and Road. It was 839 900. Listing status just listed. Let's say rooms is 5, bedrooms is 3. And then you can put in, description here. Okay, so whatever your description is, you can come down here and you can add your photo. I'm going to take a different photo. This one's a higher res. It will tell you what your resolution needs to be. If your resolution is not high enough, it will tell you that as well. typically, and when I see it, my listing photographer, he gives me one that's for marketing, which is a lower res, like stuff that you're putting on digital, and then a higher res one for print. That's the higher res one you're going to want now. Yes, Parwin, it is recorded, so you'll be able to get it on the YouTube channel. Absolutely. Down here, it's going to have your information. Okay, so I've dropped in the basics of all the stuff here. I'm going to hit save, and you see it's showing up in here, right? Now I'm going to do my market center. This is VA 320, verify address, say correct. Okay. Now targeting, I want to do 673 Princess Anne Road. This is Virginia Beach, VA 23457, I think. Let me do save. Okay. And then my budget, let's say I'm going to do 200. This is going to cost 64 cents per, and that's including postage, printing, distribution, and postage. They're doing all the work for you. 64 cents per card. 128 bucks for 200 quantity. That's not much more than what you would pay Vistaprint just to print the cards. And then they send them to you, and you've got to do the work of putting labels on, printing labels, first of all, putting them on, and then putting on postage. And that can be, you know, a couple hours of work plus the actual printing costs and the postage costs. Okay. So you can have that decided there. Now you can see here, you can also do tracking. So you could put on, if you click this, then it's going to put a QR code on because it's showing you the front here. You can show the back. Now it's going to be able to have on, not sure if it goes on the front or the back. Where are we at here? I think it's going to go right here is where your QR code is going to go. And then that QR code, when people do it, you need to put in a landing page. So you do have to go into consumer and create a landing page for it to go to, which takes 5 minutes for this specific address. And then it would go to that address. Okay. You don't have to do that, but you can do that as a way to give them a reason to go to your landing page. Then you know they did, and then you can reach out to them as well. Okay. So the other thing, I just real quick, and we're about done with time, but I want to show you this as well. You can also upload your own. So say you designed your own, so you've got your front and back. You can come in here and upload your front and your back. And if you need to download this, all the information for the templates for the postcard, you can download that. But as long as it's 300 DPI, it's a JPEG or a PDF, and it's got the bleed on there, then you can upload it here and they will be able to print it for you if you make your own design. If you just didn't care for the designs that are here. Okay. When you come in to configure your targeting, oh, what did I do? Sometimes the market center, the zip code doesn't hold. I'm not sure why that is, but sometimes you have to reconfirm each time. But you see all the green ones, green checks now, we're good to go. I'm going to go into configure targeting. Want to create this campaign? Yes. Now we're going to jump over and Real Mailers. This is in Real Mailers site. Now what it's done is, this is my target house. These are 200 homes nearest it. These are the 200 closest homes, in a radius around there. And it's going to have all these addresses. I'm going to click on this so I get a copy as well, so that I can see that it went out and how long it takes to get there. I'm going to have it sent to my office, and it's going to go first class. You can also change it. Oh no, I guess we can't change it right now to standard because there is only one postage rate. But you can have that, picked where you want it to go. And you can also come in and see where the houses are in the neighborhood or around it. and then be able to, have a good feel of what the ones are. So like you can see what the addresses are and you can remove it. So if this one, let's say this one just sold, maybe you go through the neighborhood and you say, you know what, I don't want to send it to ones that just sold in the last 6 months, because I know those people aren't doing anything. And, although those people might be ones that know other people that want to buy. So you might want to target them, but you can remove anybody that you want. Okay. And then you finish going through the next couple steps, and that'll get the payment process and everything, and it'll be sent out and it'll be in their hands within a couple days. Okay. So we were at 11 o'clock, and that goes through almost everything. The only thing I didn't really touch was emails. And emails, you can create them very similarly to as if you're in designs and you're creating emails, because that's where most of these are going to start at. And if it's connected, you get 5,000 emails per month, and you can schedule it out. There's actually a nice tool in there so that anybody in your database, you can pick by tags, you can pick individuals, you can do the whole database. They can be able to receive, and like I do it for home anniversaries. You can do newsletters. You can do just listed, just sold. There's all types of things that you can create in designs and then send them out as basically an email blast that campaign to your database. So any last questions? I know the last 10 minutes I kind of flew through the direct mail, but any questions that we have? Okay, thanks, Parwin. And if there's not any questions, I'd like to get one or two of you to give me an aha from today's class. What did you take away in terms of campaigns that you maybe didn't know before, or that's maybe easier than you thought?
I can go.
Yeah, please.
I had no idea you could link your social media ads through command. Like I know about running ads and things like that on social media, but I really like the fact that you're connecting directly from the source. I actually really love that feature.
Yeah, thank you. That I completely agree. That's one of the coolest things in there. I don't know that any other real estate company, and I could be wrong on this, but I don't know that any other real estate company has that built in directly to their platform that's owned by the agents, that they can go directly to Facebook, and you don't even leave. You just stay right here and do everything that you've been doing, for the rest of the day. So thank you. That is definitely one of the things that I think is the greatest as well. Shannon's pretty much saying the same thing. Everything that's connected, being able to see, and Roxanne with this, you can link the smart plans. I totally agree. That was within the last couple months, definitely since the beginning of the summer, where you can tag it when it comes in and link it directly to a smart plan. Used to be that you had to go back after the fact and tie those two in and get it started. And that follow-up kind of slips, because when do leads come in? 10:30 at night, 4 in the morning, when somebody just gets up and is getting ready to go to the gym before work. Leads come in at different times, and so we may not be ready to start a smart plan right away, whereas now when they come in, it kicks it off automatically. So that's great. Anyone else have any ahas or anything they'd like to share from today? Okay, well, I appreciate your time. I do want to jump back to, I think there was, for tomorrow, can you see this action steps on my screen? Yes, no? Okay, great. So action steps, David wanted me to make sure to point out for tomorrow's class. Go ahead and look around and see where you have a good collection of contacts outside of your immediate area. So what cities or towns do you have, or areas? Like, I'm from Northern Illinois. I've lived in Nebraska. I've lived in Atlanta. I've lived all over the place. I could bring a list of people in each of those areas. It could be family, it could be friends, past coworkers. Get a list together for tomorrow of those people to be able to walk into the next the next steps of building your business through command. And then if you don't have a Facebook business page, reach out to your MCTT and get one set up. That way you can actually be able to connect to command to Facebook and be able to start doing some of these things and put them in place. So your MCTT will be a great resource for that. And then you bring these in, do those things, then you guys will be set for tomorrow, and we look forward to having you. So thanks for coming today, and good luck with building your business and using command to get it off the ground or take it to the next step if you're already in production. Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Have a great one.
You too.